Hi, I'm Linda Matthews, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make a Field Notes Junk Journal folio wallet. I'm using some of the printable papers from the Victorian Herbarium paper pack, which is a nature-themed kit and is perfect to use for making a Field Notes folio. You can find a link to this paper pack in the description below. You could of course use any other type of printable papers to make this folio. It's perfectly designed to be used with other types of printable paper collections. I'm also going to use this page of free printable Field Notes ephemera that I've designed for this project. If you'd like to download the free sheet of printables, together with a PDF of all the measurements for the pieces to make this project, you can opt in using the link in the description below. Using the PDF measurements document, you can cut and prepare the pieces before you begin making the project. To get started, first make the folio cover. Print on both sides of a sheet of cardstock, then cut to size. My cover size is 10 1/4 inches wide by 8 inches high. All the remaining pieces for this folio should also be printed onto cardstock about 110 pounds in weight. Make creases on the cover at 3 1/4 inches across, 3 1/2 inches, 6 3/4 inches, and 7 inches. Using a scoreboard makes it easy to make accurate creases. When folded, the folio cover has room inside so that you can include bulky bits of ephemera and other printable embellishments. When folded, the folio has a size of 3 1/4 inches wide by 8 inches high with a 1/4 inch depth. I'm going to glue a picture to the front and back, but you can omit this step if you want to. However, gluing a picture on helps to make the cover a bit stronger and sturdier. I've cut 2 picture pieces size 3 inches wide by 7 3/4 inches high, which is just slightly smaller than the cover size. You can add some ink to stain the edges using an applicator, then glue the pieces to the front and the back sections using a craft strength glue stick or liquid craft glue. To make the layered pockets for the remaining cover section, cut one piece at 7 3/4 inches wide by 3 inches high, and the other piece 1/2 inch shorter at 7 3/4 inches wide by 2 1/2 inches high. Punch out a semicircle centered along the top edge of each piece. You can do this using a 1 inch hole punch. First, make a pencil mark centered along the top edge. Turn the hole punch upside down, position the edge of the pocket halfway along, and you can see where to accurately position it to punch out a semicircle. Apply a narrow line of glue or double-sided tape along the side and bottom edges of each pocket and press onto the folder cover. On the inside, there is one large pocket on the left, layered angle pockets on the centre, and on the right is a set of layered rectangular pockets with flip-over sections secured with buttons. To make the large pocket on the left, cut a piece just slightly smaller than the left section. I've cut this piece 3 inches wide by 7 3/4 inches high. Then cut away a triangular section 1 inches in from the top left edge and 2.5 inches up from the bottom right edge. Apply a narrow line of glue along the left, right and bottom edges and press onto the inside of the left section. To make the layered angle pockets for the centre section, cut 4 pieces 3 inches wide by 4 inches high. For the bottom pocket and the third pocket up, cut away a triangular section starting at the top left corner and 2 inches up from the bottom right corner. For the second and the fourth pocket, cut a triangular section starting at the top right corner and 2 inches up from the bottom left corner. On the back of each of the pockets, draw a pencil line across 1 inch up from the bottom. Using these pencil marks as guidelines, each of the pockets are stacked one on top of each other. Stacking them in this way creates one tall pocket with the illusion of 4 small pockets. This makes the pocket more versatile, so you can insert long pieces of printable ephemera if you want to. Starting with the bottom pocket, apply a narrow line of glue along the left, right and bottom edges. Align the bottom of the next pocket along the drawn line and press in place. Working on this stack, apply a narrow line of glue along the left and right sides. Align the bottom of the next pocket along the drawn line and press in place. Again working on the stack, apply a narrow line of glue along the left and right sides. Align the bottom of the next pocket along the drawn line and press in place. Once all the pockets are assembled into a stack, apply a narrow line of glue along the left, right and bottom edges and press onto the inside centre section of the folio cover. To make the stacked rectangular pockets for the right section, I'm going to use fold-under tabs so that the pockets are capable of holding thicker types of ephemera and embellishments. These pockets are going to be stacked in a similar way to the centre pockets. Cut one piece 3.5 inches wide by 2.25 inches high. This is the bottom pocket. Then cut 3 pieces 3.5 inches wide by 2 inches high. These are the pockets that'll be stacked above. Make a pencil mark halfway along the top edge of each of the pieces and punch out a semicircle. To make the fold under tabs, make a crease 1/4 inch along the left, right and bottom sides of the bottom pocket and the left and right sides of each of the other pockets. Then press with the bone folder to make a sharp fold. On the bottom pocket, cut away the tab corners at a 45-degree angle. To make the flaps for the right section, cut 2 pieces at 3 inches wide by 4.5 inches high. Make a crease 1/4 inch down from the top on the top section and 1/4 inch up from the bottom on the bottom section. These are the fold under tabs. Press the tabs under using a bone folder. I'm also going to shape the top flap using a rounded corner punch. To make the 2 buttons for the flaps, punch out 6 1-inch circles using a circular punch. Then stack and glue 3 circles, one on top of each other for each button. Pierce a hole in the centre using a bookbinding awl or other type of tool with a sharp point. Measure up 1 inch from the bottom edge on the top flap and make a hole along the centre. Measure down 1 3/4 inch from the top edge on the bottom flap and make a hole. Use a small metal brad to attach each of the buttons to the flaps. Make sure to leave a small space between the flap and the button so you have room to attach a piece of cording or ribbon. Put a small piece of masking tape over the ends of the metal brad on the underside to protect the ends from scratching or tearing the paper. Apply glue to the tab on the bottom piece and press in place along the bottom edge of the right section of the cover. Apply glue to the sides and bottom tabs of the bottom pocket and press the bottom tab in place on top of the flap tab. Don't press down the side tabs just yet. Apply glue to the sides of the next pocket. Slip the bottom of the second pocket underneath the first pocket by about ½ inch. Then press the sides of the first pocket in place. Attach the third and fourth pockets in the same way. After all the pockets are in place, press along the sides to ensure they're glued down securely. Then apply glue to the tab on the top flap and press in place along the top edge. Make a slip knot at one end of a length of cording or ribbon and attach to the top button. Then wind the cording around the buttons in a figure 8 to keep the flaps closed. I'm going to insert some cards and other types of embellishments into the folio. These pieces come with the Victorian Herbarium paper pack, but you could also use any other types of ephemera. These labels are included in the Victorian Herbarium Fussy Cut pack, but you can easily make your own labels using any word processing software such as Microsoft Word, then print them onto paper and cut them out. You can make little cluster embellishments by layering bits of paper and lace. I'm threading some layers onto this little bulb-shaped safety pin along with a metal butterfly charm. In a similar way, I'm making a little field notes notebook using several bits of paper and lace stapled together at the top. You can make little notebooks by layering some scraps of paper and sewing them together by hand along the side. This page of Field Notes ephemera is free to download. You can find the link in the description below this video. The page includes specimen cards, a Field Notes card, and various other labels and bits of ephemera. Print the page onto cardstock, cut out the pieces, fold the cards over and glue together, and then they're ready to use.